Vuyiseka Maguga. I am at the honest conversation with
Unonkala ngasemlanjeni.
Molweni bantu abahle, igama lam ndinguVuyiseka Maguga, also known as LoveChild, and these are Ekhaya Conversations right here on Ekhaya Sessions. Today I am bringing you Sister Nice. She's all the way from eBhofolo. Kuthiwa indawo yamageza ke ukha amanzi ngebhaskithi ba.
Uyibona kumbandela amageza yoloko. Dililo. Yadlala la.
Hayi ke uviwe ndi. Igama lakhe nguZanele, Mosea.
Hey, ndinguZencana.
Okay.
Okay, mandithi Zanele Mosea, formerly known
as Zencana. Hayi ke ndikuvile. Yeah, khabulise mana abantu abahle. Yaqala kuza apha.
Hey, ndiyaqala ukuze ekhaya bethulana. Akukuhle intoni kusekhaya molweni enkosi lapha for the invite. Thank you so much. Udala nami ndafuna u-invite endaweni. You broke the record. Hey. Thank you, lover.
All the way from eBhofolo. Uzene is a young girl. What type of a girl was she?
Uzene is a dreamer, a go-getter. Kuthiwa uyaboniswa.
Okay. We have something in common there. So,
yes.
Yeah.
I got to hear igama loboniswa kakhulu to a point that it stopped bothering me. Diaboniswa, I was like, okay, I'm different because banqabela abantu ababoniswayo. Babenqabela abantu ababoniswayo.
Yeah.
To a point that abanye abantu abaqala uboniswa babe bafile safe kum. So that's the girl.
Amen.
Yeah.
So you grow up phayana funda esikolweni pha okanye kwenzeka ntoni?
I grew up at Bofolo from primary and then high school ndabheka eTinarha ndaphinda ndabuyela eBhofolo again.
Okay.
Trying to find myself, but I've always known who I am. But it's just that it never made sense because ibibonwe ngathi into wrong lento yoboniswa. This thing of mine yo soloko nje ndinale incwadi incinci ndibhalana ne-music producers ne-albums zabantu ndibizwa ndizodensela amandwendwe ndibe ngulebo mathosa walapha endlini and I understand but I'm this child, I'm this last born, so I'm like, okay, this is who I am, it's okay. So yeah,
Entertainer.
I was that girl.
Oh man. And then what brought you to PE?
I came in 2010.
Okay.
Remember that diaboniswa. So ndifuna ke ukuba a news reader. I'm very good at reading isiXhosa. I am very good at public speaking. I am very good. Xa kuthiwa eklasini kuyapresentwa if unozanele egroupini yakho ni safe. Yabo. So then neighbors and my parents were like, wena kukhona le ndawo ufuneka ube kuyo, ufuneka uboniwe. Ndiqonde okay, funeke ndibe ntona kubone ke kweza classes ze-EMS kuthiwe what do you want to be when you grow up. I was always a news reader and I understand abanye umntu I want to be a nurse, I want to save people's lives, and it sounded very profound and I felt bad. I was like umna kutheni ngathi I'm only thinking about myself because I was like umna I love public speaking, I love talking, I love uthetha dimanyelwe. I think I have a lot to say and I love reading, so I want to be a news reader. That's what I was. And then I passed my matric in 2008, and then my dad was like, "Khawuhlale phansi ukucinge nyani uyayifuna lento yale news reading okanye itinto yakho." So I sat through the whole 2009, but I was like, I am still obsessed with Yo TV. I still want to see myself in front of the screen. I still see myself in the media. So yes, I want to do it. And then I went to Varsity College 2010.
Aphe bye.
Yes, remember 2010, love to be there.
You are kaloku. 2010.
Listen, I had my list of everything that I want to become. I was going to study. Remember that Varsity College qualification takes 2 years. So I was going to study that, move to Joburg. I'm now 22 at that time, can move to Joburg, and then at Joburg I'm going to get a job at SABC, and then I'm going to become a newsreader, and then at 25 I'm going to have 2 kids, and that's what I feel like, because I never listed with that. I was like, okay, I'm going to have 2 kids and 2 cars at the age of 25.
Well, how long more?
And that was never part of the plan. I don't know but it's fine. So I moved to PE. I got to this class here, journalism at Varsity College, Green Acres campus. I sat there for 6 months. I loved media studies, yai module. I loved it. But there was practice of journalism, there was news writing, and I was like, this is not for me.
Ooh.
This is not for me, and I don't know how to tell my parents that this is not for me. And remember that my tuition for the year was paid up. So now I had to break the news. I don't think Mnandi I turned journalism. I don't think, because we had this lecture, some lady, she made it very scary to be a journalist. Like, she would tell you about how you have to run after Iraq and so I was like, this is not what I want to become. And she would say something like, if you want to be a newsreader, this is not the place to be. You know that media people will know that box where they write your script and then you have to read from that. The prompt. At idiot box. If you want to read your news from idiot box, this is not the place to be for you. And I was like, Sissy, I heard you, and I'm leaving. I'm going. Yeah. And then I think in August I made the decision that, you know what, I'm leaving. And then I left.
This is August 2010.
2010. And then I left, but I did not tell my parents that I left. I was like, bazabona ku results, because I was scared. Because they believe in me so much.
And you have spent time convincing them.
You understand? This is what I want. So yeah, and then I left EVC. And then 2011 came. I did some little retail jobs and stuff. But ipupa, and you know, lava abantu bekhumbuza about who you are destined really to become. Yeah. Even though wena ufuna ulibala, ufuna usettlisha kule ndawo ukuya, I'm like, nawa abanye abantwana umuntu axolela, man, I've been working at Spa for 5 years. Umnandi sewulwethi babone nyani ba no igirls yakhubeka. So this is what I want to be. But people kept on saying, Zanele mani yazi I'll belong up. Because each and every job that I tried, people would tell me I'll belong up, man. We feel like when I go to why are you here? Why are you here? And I was like, okay, let me try again. And then I went back home, 2012. I went back home, and then I I'm very curious. Got onto Facebook. I discovered the media workshop.
Oh yeah.
I discovered the media workshop. I was a researcher at heart, but I did not know what I am at that moment. As a researcher at heart, I checked everyone that is there, their pages, and then the first person that I connected with was Usol Lucas.
Oh yeah?
Connected with Usol Lucas.
Hey, Usol.
Okay. Legend. Legendary.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, let me connect with this guy. I added Usol to Facebook, and then I asked Usol, so how do you get into the media workshop thingy? And then he was like, no, just, are you following the page? I was like, yes, I'm following the page. I was like, okay, stay there, follow the page.
The opportunities.
Yeah. And then I saw Mvuyo Maneli, who is an administrator there. And then I saw Kanyisa Singwe, who was working for Isolezwe newspaper at the time. Was it not Isolezwe, sorry. There was a newspaper before that. Do you remember that newspaper? And then I followed Ukanyisa. We started talking with Ukanyisa, and I was like, I loved this media thing, and I was studying. Ukanyisa was like, okay, fine, I can hook you up with my bosses, Denise, and you know, Nonomvuyo. Then Nyanshi did hook me up with Unomvuyo, and then Unomvuyo was like, okay, zikhona leaderships zizawuphuma, we are gonna hook you up. And then that's how I got into the space sasebhayi ke ngoku se media arts and yeah.
And so when it, because you did filmmaking part, so when it shifted to music, what happened?
How do we? Okay, so this is what happened, ne? So at Bay TV now, the media workshop, we are doing practicals at Bay TV.
Okay.
So at Bay TV, I met this guy, Ushon Pagade. So Ushon Pagade, I was a child. I was 23. This is 2013, 2014. So I met Ushon Pagade. I'm a researcher for a sports show.
Bay
TV with the late Budimncedisi Mvinjelwa. Yes. So he's my producer, he's the presenter, and I'm the researcher. So what I do there, I search for people to interview, content, like, I remember my first person that I connected with was Ulizo. I think wayedlalela the team yalapha EP rugby.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Wayedlalela yona. So I searched for Ulizo and stuff. So I was that person, yabo. So abesithi Sean and Sean would push me, like he would push me to my limits. Jonga, get out there, even at events, when you go out to shoot, no Budimncedisi, have a conversation with people, try to get to know them beyond what you are there for, so that you can have a clientele. Even the musicians, I have a friend that stays in Central. You can even be a researcher for Le Show Ye Artsy Lapa or Iron Art, but there was already a researcher there. You can be a researcher for Iron Art. And I was like, okay, you are giving me an idea now. Let me go back to journalism. Let me go back to Kanyisa and propose to Kanyisa. But how about I bring you entertainment news on your thing? How about I cover events for your...
Like, I'm having goosebumps. Oh my goodness.
You know, so I went back to Kanyisa and I was like, and then there was the Messenger newspaper back then. And then I proposed this thing to Kanyisa. To Kanyisa, sesnaye some nomfundo that is doing this for us. But now we go and do your thing and just let me know how far you are going to go. Then Ushonan hook up with this friend of his, Mosea, that stays in Central.
Clang.
Okay. So I've been trying to tell but no, I have this friend. I'm like, that's your friend. I met Usiphe on a personal level. Was flats in the kuzo with my friends. So I know him, but I've heard bagutwa lo mfana ke uyayibetha ke lanto ayibethayo ndolo ndimane ndibona ke lo mfana uphethe le briefcase lena la kasi ke phela le kasi lo mfana uphuma engena apha kuthiwa lo mfana uyayibetha ke lento yakhe apha ndibe ndithi uShon man, I know your friend, you know, athi ke uShon, hook up with that guy. You guys can actually have a lot to talk about, because I can see when we are having these conversations, you are actually very insightful in terms of the music business, and I loved the music business. Kenda that's fundisa from Epofolo. If Epofolo unobuza ngam in my area, I had boys zam ze hip hop that would come to me bazonvisa ingoma zabo. But back then, love, I did not understand why are they coming to my house? Like, they would come and they would be very excited to bandive ingoma zabo obuja o lost abonga abantwana basepofolo basikhasikave man hey injani lena no. And I was very obsessed with Josie back then.
And I would say the attitude,
yes, so I would hook them up with ingoma, and I had a plug for counterfeit CDs and stuff, USBs. So I was that girl. I was the plug hip hop. So they would be very excited, shame to come to my house. I guess that's when the universe was telling me, you have to do something with artists. There's something that is placed in you, get artists. But back then, I did not understand what it was. So when Ushon was now hooking me up with this friend of his that I met on a personal level, I was like, and Kandi, now later on in Bomini, Ulifan Kaleleba, Yazu Masbulele, who was your friend, was also pushing me to hook up with you and talk now because ingati ikhona into esizawuvana
match made in heaven.
In heaven mandithi like
So uyangena ke ngoku in the music scene.
Yes.
Ulifa that time is doing Take Note. And then when do you become his manager now, okay, his administrator, or whatever it was?
Yes. Yay, again, the universe. So this time, kupushwana, Ulife pushwana, mdi pushwa to hook up. Levi is going through his own things, could take note.
Yeah.
He is thinking of leaving. He leaves, he comes back, he thinks about it, he reconsiders the decision. So that's how we met. We met now, Tina City, I want to branch out. I'm still in Take Note, but I want to branch out because there's A, B, C, and D that's not keeping me happy. So I want to branch out. And then I was like to him, okay, if you want to branch out then, and he was branching out because I met him when he was doing gigs at Chawe Bar at the Boardwalk. So he page invites, was starting to invite people the page. And then I took the initiative of inviting my friends, he seeing him pushing into yakazayenza entontonin Boardwalk, and then Nama would take the initiative. And then that's how it started. And then that's how maybe I think from his personal side, his experience, maybe that's how he felt. Maybe okay, I have support. I have somebody that is actually encouraging this thing, because maybe some people, you're going to ask him, you're going to branch out of Take Note, and then what? Because you haven't done anything on your own. Understand? So I was that voice of reason. You can do it. Do this. And then that's how I started. On behind the scenes. Sorry, that's how I started behind the scenes. Being lamb because for a very long time I think I only started being public with the fact that I'm working with Ulifa. I don't know, but it was not Gogia. I think for 5 years I've been a silent girlfriend that is just sharing. I was just a girlfriend.
I'm glad we are having this conversation because abantu abaninzi bane perspective different, because abantu ababuzi bavela assume ngenxa bejola, they're trying to keep the money up endlini. So that's why he would have you as ilenduka manager yakhe. So let's talk about the administration side of the art. I'm an artist. And divane admin, but ndiyayenza because it's something that ekufuneka yenzekile.
Yes.
For me, ingaske ndifocus only on creating shows and producing and whatnot. Eyoba sizawuhlala uzawukhwela kantoni uzena uzawufika njani apha andifuna uyazi, but kufuneka ndiyenzile.
Yes.
For an artist that doesn't understand ukubaluleka the administrative side, just take me through about what type of work does an admin creative yenza.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Administrator lover gumtu that things like the teacher in the room. They foresee the future of this whole thing, the packaging of you as an artist, how we are going to actually write this thing. Ungayibhala wena ungu LoveChild the singer, but it's umnandi zayibona dingu principal, but this is not how you were supposed to write this thing, because now you are writing an essay. Now you are presenting yourself. You understand? So umsebenzi administrate ufika uyaphayana ba. A creative can never think like an administrator. Uyakwazi ukubhala. It's not that you can't write. It's not that my artist or Lifa can't write for himself.
He can, yeah.
But my perspective as somebody that is an administrator is different from his. Because
the language
that I use, because I know what convinces me now when I'm reading something. I'm like, okay, I'm convinced, by the context of how this person is putting this concept on paper. So that's the importance of the administrator. Another debate that I have with Ulifa most of the time, because I'm not just an administrator, I'm also a brand manager. I tell you that you can't wear a shirt brown to this event, because this event is about, you understand me? So I see that because I'm also part of the audience. So I also speak on behalf of the audience. So that's the importance of having someone that is not a performer in your group. Because I always say to Lifa that I get to sit in the audience and I get to hear whispers and conversations. I get to feel the expectations of people. You understand that? Therefore, my advice is going to be different from what your pianist is going to give you.
People that are on stage with him.
Yes, because now I get to decide even a set list and stuff. You understand that? Because I convinced them that much that, guys, I'm in the audience. You understand? You can't go to Duke on Flick and play jazz. Those people are not there for that. Play jazz when the Opera House is hosting a jazz night. But when you are at Duke on Flick, you need to give the people what they want. And also you need to consider the booking side of things. You understand? Yes, we get that you went to music school. Yes, we get that you F minor, we are menza. We are not here for that. We are here to be entertained. You need to be able to split yourself as an artist. You need to understand that there's a part of you that needs to go and present the work at the Opera House, where the jazz heads are going to be sitting and analyzing your music. But there's going to also be a time where you need to go to a stadium and entertain abantu that did not even understand, because there are people that have a narrative when they see saxophone. But jazz is so you need to win those people, and unfortunately, Lava, that's where the money is. You understand? So I hope I answered your question.
No, you have. So you seem to be someone that's always fighting. Hey, hello.
Why of the nation.
But if yako is amalungelo artist, why do you think that is important? Why do you think it's important for you to voice out your opinion, to fight, and I think kwezinye izinto ozibhalayo umuntu ofundayo okanye omamelayo, you listen and you learn. You can't just listen and iphelela up. There's a lot of pointers that I would take, like in some videos or statuses that I add. I'd see Osbo or even dibane comment yakho in some status ingak. Why do you think it's important for you to voice out your opinion? And
okay, love. It's very important. It's very important because you don't get to find people like me.
Ooh.
You don't get to find fearless people that don't care what they lose in the process of them speaking and standing up for the truth. But I retired.
I
retired. I'm trying to stay away from depression, girl.
Okay.
Glover, your industry needs people that are going to be honest. people that are not going to think about feelings is oba if I stand up for this ulava ndiyamazi uzoba offended akazonbiza. Do you understand me? But then think about the future. Think about the industry. Think about the gifts that are yet to come out of Port Elizabeth. Think about the environment that you are building, Wena, as somebody that says you love the arts. Then why are you siding with things that are killing the arts? Why are you shielding people that are actually killing the growth and the development of the
gatekeepers?
Gatekeepers, because the gatekeepers only care about getting le ginger namhlanje bayigonqoze bayitye and then on to the next one. They don't care about the 12-year-old that is growing, because I believe that these monies that are being planted, zenzelwa, the longevity of the arts, you understand? It needs to have a long-term run, but into that is being ran up by is that get your stuff, fill your pockets, go. Next time, hayi kaloku ubufumene wena, ngulava ngoku, hayi ke ngoku, kwanawe ubufumene, you have nothing to show.
I was talking about this because someone came to me, efuna whatever. I don't want to mention names.
Yeah.
Wafuna londo beifuna, and so ndamxela but this is how I work, yabo. And if I was usebenza ngohlobo, then masiyeke, yabo. And so wahamba ke, and so ndashiyeka ke mna ke thinking ba ababantu zi gatekeepers and ababantu baluma bevuthela bayicapukelayo art, but they are within it
benefiting.
Yeah, because kwezi organizations umuntu uhlala mhlawumbe for 3 years and then ahlale pha 3 years yakhe, after la 3 years iphelile atye zamali athintini ibe nguye unqesta yonke laa nto atye zamali. Yeah, and then after la 3 years iphelile, isibe ngathi ayizuphela la 3 years, kanti izawuphela la 3 years kungenomnye, and then xa kungenomnye ke ngoku akananto to show, and then
ba ebenze ntoni
and then bazosokolisa thina.
Yes,
okoko thina sirhuqa apha emhlabeni.
It's sad.
Kudala wasizitabalazela thina
kudala lava ibhlungu ngento yobangaba na akukho nkqubela. And that's what they don't understand. Even the artists eziziye sisijikele xa sithethayo, they don't understand that they are their own enemy, because ucenga 10,000 ozayifumana kulonyaka ufuna kuthulwe nge150,000 ityiweyo, because when ucenga 10,000 ozayifumana once a year. You don't want to speak up about the fact that a company that should not have gotten imali ethile that was supposed to go towards developing young artists zaseBhayi endaweni ethile, and nobody can point and say la mali uZen wayengxolela ku Facebook niyayibona ba ikhuphe ubani nobani benze le naleya. Do you understand me? But there were artists that were actually trying to galela manzi kulento ndiyenzayo, of trying to actually create awareness into yobana guys, this is what's happening. There were artists that were saying asingeni thina kwi-drama. Like, yabona, if there's one thing that hurt me, that made me to actually, you know what, to just stop, focus on the artists that I'm working with on the corporate side, and just leave these people, because yabona, when you minimize whatever that I'm saying, uti drama, as if I'm a dumb, empty-headed girl, then you.
And this is why I'm glad ba you came here, Sithetha, so that you didn't just become an administrator ngenxa yoJola noLifa. This thing has been there for the longest time.
Longest time. You understand? For the longest time. Even so, Lava, I got to learn about the industry yaseBhayi. uLifa is not the only artist that I've worked with. uLifa might be my main artist, but there was a time we were doing arts in union together.
I remember.
Do you understand me?
Yeah.
There are other things that I have done with other artists, meaning that I don't only care about Ulifa. So when I am speaking up, I am not speaking up for Ulifa. I am speaking for the industry in its entirety. Guys, if you are going to allow people to just come in like, you can just get out of high school today and then I'm an arts representative and then uthathela amalungelo artists and then azazi yena uthethela obani uthatha imali ayifake epokothweni. Where are we going? We've been here. But kukho abantu ngoku okuthiwa baphethe bazi representatives artists esingakhange. When we were attending your shows with my friend at the Opera House, uSiculo Ndize, that person was not there. That person doesn't know anything. But today, funeke thina sikhonze this person.
Yeah. Because
this person uyas represent.
So what do you think is the solution to all of this? Because I think siyasafarisha man, because ingathi kusafarisha thina kuzawusafarisha nezi zilandelayo.
Hey lava. Hey lava. You know by indoni solution lava.
I don't know, man.
Hey lava mntasekhaya, I don't know. I think ukucinga better as artists would also help us. Ukucinga phucukileyo as artists would also help us, because sucenga 5 rand man while we are losing 100 rands. You understand? Understand about what is the fight about. The fight is not about now. We are fixing the industry. Dikhuza lento phi kwezi events zimane zisenzeka mhlambi the festival le khange bekho this year bikade khona kokoko
Mandela Bay Arts Fest.
You are the one that mentioned names. I said a festival. So a festival. Ufumanzi balava, the treatment is your treatment yoba, because remember that we also write these proposals. We know how you beg for money from the municipality, how you say that you are developing local artists.
Yeah.
But now when you get this money of developing local artists, you make local artists feel like they are beggars. You understand me? Funeke wena ulibala ucollect IDs zakho ne deadline usivuse ngo12 ebusuku. Funeke thina siququzelele wena that forgot to collect your IDs. And if uzen uthi ndizoyenza le nilele mina ngoku, I'm the drummer. Jani. So artists ezinye, they beg those people. Ndiyababuza ngoku ndiyazibuza. I ask myself, where is that festival now? Where are those kids that were actually treating artists as doormats today? What have the artists at Nelson Mandela Bay benefited from this much ngoku? Ubese benefited from ababantu bebacenga. Lava, if uqhelisa these people to treat the artists poorly, then understand that this is the foundation that you are building. So when the next person comes, azoti, ako suppose you are not paying me before performance. Kuzabanga drama because when I lava, you did not have a problem with that. So I'm always the problem, because I always ask, but okay, so you guys are saying that you're not gonna give us deposit. You want us to be at the venue 7 hours before the show. There's no food. There are no drinks, no transport, no deposit. We are getting imali 7 days after. So how do you think that all of these things are going to happen? So did you tell the municipality that sisokola ne 5 rand yokhwela ujikeleza? So if you are allowing these things to happen, like I feel like akekho umuntu honest with the powers that be. Xa ufikayo nawe ofisini powers that be, if ubathi hayi lava man khayeke izinto zamachuku ina nansi VIP ticket, ulava uthule. Ulibele ngokulava babethe uyolwela artist ba, because unikwe VIP ticket.
Hey, dear. Hey man.
Into zakho kwenu. Andiko walapha kamanje.
What's a perform?
Walapha.
Yo man, I don't know man. You know, there was a time where that toitoya, there was one time that toitoya is a lapipai, the artist. And there was a picture of mine, Yango, I think 2018, the pete black card, her, our art is not trash. And then there's people basihlala bayayiposta like
Nanso
ndiphumile mos mna kwezazi
uzibhaso pheke nezatoyitoyi because niyakwazi uba by 100 and then 3 of you pha kwezatoyitoyi izawuthatha ibekwele ecaleni ibenefite imane isithi kune andizingeni ke mna ke zazinto
and that's exactly what happened.
That's what happens. And then all of a sudden now we are thuliswa, we are silenced because we are a problem. Because kwaba bantu ngokuba uhamba nabendleleni bakujikele bafumana into abayifumanayo. Babekiwe esihlalweni abafuna ubekwa kuzo and ke another thing that we need to talk about is the repetitive of abantu abanye eBay there's a face zabantu. Theater has faces.
Yeah.
Music has faces, and that's that. But my people, aba bangafumaniyo bandidanise ngento bangabana, they are the first ones to say, let's still solo drama. I'm like, nigga, you don't even get 10 rands from these people. The only thing that you are looking for is association. Kukho abantu kudala babelindisiwe ba hayi sanibana sanifaka because they are just used as a backup yoba xa uzene thetha funeke nimpoint nithune drama. The people that benefit from these things don't talk to me. They don't say anything on social media. They don't even respond. But the people that actually don't get this into are the biggest talkers.
Yeah.
They are the ones that say, drama. The beneficiaries of the funds, the beneficiaries is a parkline institutions that sometimes uzobona babe kukho into, there's a band, it's not the people that talk on social media. It's people about tula bathe.
Yeah, but now I'm the tooler, bro, but and for
because I've retired.
What advice would you give an artist kuyo yonke le ngcwaba esikuyo umntana uyafika une talente ufuna nje
ngcaba kakheli khumalo kuba nayimakhe no Robbie imali ngcaba yothando lava focus on you my child.
Okay.
Focus on being the best artist that you can be, so that you can attract people outside. Hayi suba nethemba lemali ka government, suba nethemba le institution, and akukho artist representative inexesha lakho. Artist representative inexesha lechomi zayo my dear. Ne? Artist representative inexesha lechomi zayo nabantu abazayibhatala when they have represented them. Otherwise, when as a small child that comes uthi, I want to be a musician, and ubani kuthiwa ukhona itime or ibhuda inceda abantwana. No, sweetie. Akanceda abantwana, unceda abantu abazamnika something. So just focus on you. Make sure that wena uyaziqinisa as a brand so that you can attract your people. Because the only thing that you need kahle as someone, you need your talent and your people. Only. That's how we are living, Tina, right now. That's how we have been living because, kwavaleka. But why kwavuleka? Because when I speak, I make sense and bakhona abantu abaclever bazawuthi abadlala igame. Into endibonileyo ngoku lately we are playing a game of proving Zen wrong. Ngoku abesithula ifakafakwa, let us.
And it works for you.
It works because it's a game. I'm very clever. So I'm like, let's play the game. Let's play a game. So we are playing a game now with into bangabano. Okay, let's prove her wrong. You understand? Because there was a time back try. There was a time back sounds like splash or opening of the season, and my artist was not being called.
Yeah.
Understand? And then when we started speaking about a lot of things, like the awards is that jazz fellow as the that we were like, Jazz Fellow Award? You? Okay, fine. Understand? People that even now are not even using that money yet, Jazz Fellow, towards the jazz category, the jazz genre. But when I speak up, I found people on my Facebook like, what is jazz? I'm like, whatever jazz is, but that's not it. You understand? So those type of things. So I think my only advice is that just focus on building your talent and your presence when as an artist away from these things, because you are not going to benefit from these things. Away from sucenga abantu, and also another thing embi about artists zaseBhayi. I think we gave up on the unity thing, ne? Did we give up on unity?
I think so.
I think we did, right? Okay, then let unity sleep. But just
bring unity because iyadingeka, bro. I mean, iyadingeka because my problem with a lot of people that come to me because baza abantu bayayazi ba ulove nevenue ne sound like it doesn't take a lot for me. Even if ngikwenza show on ndikhupha amatikiti khona kwenza poster khupha amatikiti nasi stage isikhona, I have a sound venue yami ndifaka intende phandi thin kube right and abantu bonwabe kube mnandi.
You built your own platform.
Yes.
Lento ke ndiqoyithetha that uyayazi wena recipe that I tried everything. Let me just build my own platform. So as an artist, just build your own platform.
So when people come to me, abantu baya i-artist ezininzi ziyayoyika la conversation yemali. Kanti imali funeka sithethile ngayo because le sound yimali apha funeka kuclean, funeka kukorojwe apha ngoku la mophu na la polish sizayithenga ngantoni. Yabo, so i-artist lezo performer pha noba ayizobhatala imali engako but umuntu makangacaba endlini uzawufika babe kuphela iparafini akanayo neplan yoba makulenduke makungabikho le plan iparafini. So a lot of artists bayoyika la conversation yemali, but that conversation is very important. Always tell them, guys, and I dear grand the way, yabo.
But your government institution.
Who's gonna fund?
Akho masipala opay ubhadalayo apha xa eye bathroom eyoflasha lamanzi abhadala. So let's pay. Let's pay. Yes, because you created your own platform so that you can move away from knocking on closed doors ezivuleka because of whatever, yabo. So imali is important. Like if we need to work together, we need to make room for into bangabana. How do we fund this idea moving forward? Uzana ndoni ndizana ndoni.
It might not make money ngoku, but in a long run, mhlawumbe izawuyenza imali. So the conversations of unity, we need it, bro. Trust, man. Umna and tembanga and I think I've gone through a lot that it's not easy for me to trust anyone.
Just trust people.
So it's always, it has to be clear. Ba ufuna ndongo ufuna undiuza. Yicho ba ufuna undiuza ndizovuma into endiyazi ba okay, uyandiuza and I mean
exactly.
I don't mind.
Exactly. No, unyanisile love. Unyanisile. The unity on collaborations.
Yes.
We need collaborations. We need, now let's move away from the fundings and stuff. We can exist without those things. Only if now we are just united and then we are pushing the same dream. I wish we can really move away from high arts and culture, opera house, and just
Mandela Bay Arts Complex fundini.
Don't
MPTC. Don't know wena. Abantu bathi nqa intoni opera house.
Hayi kalonto imdala mna kayizini. Ndisathi NMMU. So fun. So lava, creating platforms, moving away from unity ethi qala pha, because into esixabanisayo is that eyona ndisenza yenza wena ube enemy yam is that when I speak up about as that I used to speak up ngazo, when ufuna uyozicengezela ucinga fana uzawufumana uzithandise, kanti ikhona into besinoyenza sobabini away from these people ondiqumbelele bona bangenaxesha la, because people don't care about you, but ubhizi ngokuphoswa i-collaboration yethu sobabini because mna ndiye ndathi hayi the institution is doing ABC and the gatekeepers kwatsha kwacima kwathini, you understand? So I think let's restart. Let's go back to the roots. Let's think about the gifts that we have, that we are carrying, and how we can work towards that. Yoba, I once talked about it by records and Mandela, the famous. You understand? Yeah, keep by records because it's been how many years now? 2? And we haven't seen anything coming out of by records. So who was right? Who was right? Can somebody please tell me who was correct when they said that by records is a fluke? I'll wait. I'll wait. You understand? So I forgive you for being against me, for speaking against it by records, because other people are coming out now speaking up about the same funding thingy that Maypec music.
Oh, yeah.
So there are many flaws now that are coming even from the previous years. People are talking about that now. You understand? Meaning that Ibai Records was not the first and the last. You understand?
Yeah.
So that whole thing is flawed. You understand? So forgive me or forgive yourself for not believing me when I told you that Ibai Records is a thing, but please see me as the Zen that actually cared about your industry, cared about the gifts that we have in Nelson Mandela Bay. It was not a personal fight. It's never a personal fight. You understand? I don't care about fighting. I do have my personal fights with people and we fight personally, but I don't think I would go out and talk about a funding that was given to someone wrongfully. And it's a personal fight. It's never about that, because abantu banale narrative yoba hayi nina ninjalo xa ningafumenanga kwa but I wish you could just try and understand okanye see the pattern into bangabana kubani soloko bayafumana apha ngobani kahle kahle artists zalapha eBhayi kutheni thina singafumani, and people are being used. There are mouthpieces bathetela izinto that they don't get. They are not even benefiting from these things about Tetelai, but they are being used to babe majority etetayo behind the scenes. But yeah, man, let's just regroup. Forgive yourself for not believing me when I said by records is a fluke. Then call me.
Last question. What's in for Zen now? Zen busy ndoni? Yeah. What does the future looks like
the
for
future,
Uzen? Yeah.
To be honest with you, Lava, I'm at a very comfortable space now. Yeah? I went back to 9 to 5, which is I went back and get totally right. I took my time and I worked on Lifa's brand. And for the sake of my sanity, I think I'm good with just Ulifa. I developed him as a brand. I don't have to do anything now.
Yeah,
his clients, they come to him now. I made sure that I'm going to put him where clients are going to find him. You understand? So that's where we're at now. Now we just wait for phone calls and then we answer and then we schedule and then that's that. You understand? I'm at a place where I don't have to speak about fundings, as I said,
Okay, this song list.
Sweetie, I'm scheduling dates right now. I am booking flights. I don't care who gets what, where, how, kwatini. I tried my best to try and, siboneni into eyenzakalayo, but I was the drama. So I'm tired of being the drama. I'm a mother. I have kids that I have to live for. And ndifuna uthi ndambe estratweni ndidutyulwe because ukuthathela imali ezingakayana also going to affect positions zabantu abahlala kuze emisebenzini yabo and putting my life in danger. So it's not worth it. You understand? What I'm working with Nolifa iyasebenza ndiyabonakala and kudala ibonakala. So yes. I think it's better that I focus on what's putting a bread on my table and then enye what falls must fall. People will wake up when they have to wake up. It's fine if they don't wake up, then eat the money, guys. Eat it.
Yeah, no.
Eat it.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for being the voice of the voiceless. Yeah, even though we but I'm sure, but there's a lot of people that when they look back, like, you know what, because now I'm focusing on myself because of what Uzen once said. Otherwise, all the best for the future.
Thank you,
I hope you go back to journalism, man. I swear, I don't know Njani, but like when you were talking about it, it kind of felt like it's something that liphinde
libuye.
Yeah.
I think in marketing the right, man, love. I think I found myself. I found yeah. But yeah, if it happens, then
it happens.
But news reading, yes, I'll definitely.
I
wanna branch into that. It will never die. It's who I am.
Yeah, I think so too.
Didn't nani ke kule industry, so so didn't song, but it's fine. But all the best to everybody.
Sithethu. Siyabulela bantu abahle, igama lami ndinguvuyiseka Maguga. This is Zen Mosea.
Zen Mosea, address me correctly.
Zen Mosea, formerly known as Zen Cana. And this is Ekhaya Conversations. We'll see you on our next episode. Enkosi kakhulu.
Unongala ngasemlanjeni.